Hi, this is Ron Nutter with another edition of TechBytes with Ron Nutter product reviews. Today we're looking at the EBL AAA Rechargeable Battery Set. And this is a 4-count blister card, or it's 4 batteries on a card that's got a plastic cover on it, and 3 things you need to know. Now, AAAs, depending on what you've got in terms of smart home gear or any other equipment, AAAs I seem to run into some mainly in remote controls, or if it's a compact radio that you can clip on your belt. It just depends on what they're doing, and as they make electronics more efficient, the more likely they can be able to use AAA batteries. Now, some things to know. Thing number 1, this is a nickel metal hydride type cell. It's a high quality battery. I mean, EBL, from my experience, makes very good batteries, and this is not being sponsored by them. And the big thing is it has no memory effect. Now, let me explain that. When they first started using rechargeable batteries in consumer electronics, NiCads were pretty much all you had to do. And the problem with NiCads is you had to drain them all the way down, or in successive charges, the battery would take less and less time to charge, and it would exhaust that much sooner. So this is where nickel metal hydride is a very good option. Thing number 2, for best results, don't completely drain the battery before charging. Now, you're going to hear several schools of thought. My experience with these is I don't charge them before they get to 50%. I mean, they need a little bit of room to get used up. If I'm going to store them for a while, I don't store them with a full charge. I run them down just a little bit. Again, this is my personal experience. Now, one thing to not do, don't drain the batteries to where they only have about 25% of their total capacity. And even worse than that is you've run them all the way to the ground. And when you know you've done that with nickel metal hydrides, because they have pretty much an even output of voltage, and when it suddenly drops off, okay, battery's done at that point. The problem is, okay, once or twice is one thing, but if you repeatedly do it, the batteries are going to see a premature end to their useful life. Thing number 3, if you don't get full capacity out of the batteries right away, give them a little bit of time. Batteries, the nickel metal hydrides, can take up to about 5 charge cycles, and I'm talking about running it down to, no more than 25%. And some devices you use them in will have a pretty good indication of what the state of charge is before you'll see the maximum lifetime out of the battery. And if you let them sit they can run for over a year they can sit for over a year and not lose more than just, I think it's, 10 or 20% of their charge, which is not bad. But don't, always run a check on them, and I'll show you in a future video how to accurately check the status of the battery, because just hooking it up to a voltmeter really is not going to give you the total picture. Thing number 4, and this is a bonus item, if you don't need a lot of AAAs, this is probably going to be the more economical way of getting those kind of batteries, because with the amount of time they will hold a charge just sitting in your battery drawer or battery holder is definitely going to be surprising. And when you'll have them you'll have them when they're ready to go. But with the other conventional alkaline batteries, you may not have the charge you think you've got in them. So really, nickel metal hydrides are a good one to have, and I would keep them protected, whether you keep them in the card you see them come in, and sometimes EBL will ship them in a small plastic case. Either way, protect the batteries. That way you run less of a chance of making an intermittent connection to where it would start consuming some of the battery's power. But take a look at this, see what you think. And these are handy to have, and nothing else, as a reference battery so that other devices that you have that have AAAs, if it starts acting up, swap into one of these, and if it comes back to life, well, the battery was your problem, because not all devices will tell you when the battery is low. Their indication of telling you that the battery is low is when the device or the remote quits working. So take a look at these. I think you'll be very happy with it.